Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn, renowned for her prowess on the slopes, recently found herself contending not only with a severe injury but also with a barrage of online skepticism. Having torn her ACL during a competitive race toward the end of the previous month, Vonn turned to social media to directly address and refute doubters who questioned the legitimacy or severity of her condition. Her responses were sharp and unapologetic, showcasing her determination to set the record straight amid preparations for an upcoming gold medal pursuit. In one pointed exchange on social media, Vonn sarcastically thanked a sports medicine doctor for his unsolicited analysis, dismissing his doubts with a blend of humor and firmness. She affirmed that her ACL had been fully operational until the incident, emphasizing that just because something appears improbable to others does not render it impossible. Vonn clarified unequivocally that her ACL was completely ruptured, not partially but 100% gone, leaving no room for misinterpretation. Despite this major setback, which necessitated her being airlifted from the course after the crash, Vonn remained resolute in her commitment to compete. She was scheduled to vie for Olympic glory in an event starting early in the morning, demonstrating her unyielding spirit in the face of adversity. The initial critique came from Brian Sutterer, a sports medicine specialist, who speculated on the pre-existing state of Vonn's knee. He suggested that if her ACL had been compromised prior to the accident, her rapid return to functionality would be less astonishing, drawing parallels to athletes who adapt over time to chronic injuries. Sutterer explained that bodies can retrain muscles to compensate for long-term ACL issues, potentially easing recovery from subsequent traumas. He stressed that this nuance differentiates fresh tears from ongoing conditions, influencing how such stories are perceived publicly. In response to Vonn's retort, Sutterer sought to clarify his intentions, inquiring about any prior injuries to the same knee and reiterating that compensation mechanisms could explain her impressive recovery. He praised her achievement as extraordinarily impressive and expressed genuine support, framing his comments as an effort to provide context for public understanding rather than to undermine her. Support for Vonn came from various quarters, including IndyCar driver Alexander Rossi, who highlighted the tendency of critics to rationalize her accomplishments when they defy expectations. Vonn concurred succinctly, affirming the accuracy of his observation. Vonn also engaged with an opinion piece that questioned her decision to compete despite the injury, suggesting she was courting long-term health risks and implying she was beyond her prime. She labeled the article as peculiar, challenging its premises that pain and suffering were her motivations or that she was seeking deeper meaning through risk-taking. Vonn rebuked the ageist undertones, expressing frustration with such biases. She asserted her multifaceted identity beyond skiing, noting her fulfilling life post-retirement and her passion for the sport as the driving force behind her return. Having been retired for several years, she emphasized that her participation was a choice born of love for skiing, not necessity, and urged against unfounded assumptions. Following the injury, Vonn's immediate response was one of resilience. She transitioned quickly to gym training, maintaining her focus on the Olympics. In a statement shortly after, she acknowledged the diminished odds due to the tear but clung to the sliver of possibility remaining. Vonn vowed not to surrender hope or effort, drawing strength from the support of fans and loved ones. This saga underscores the pressures elite athletes face, not only from physical demands but from public scrutiny in the digital age. Vonn's clapbacks exemplify how athletes reclaim narratives, using social media as a tool for direct communication. Her story also highlights advancements in sports medicine, where rapid recoveries challenge traditional timelines, sparking debates among experts. Expanding on Vonn's career, her achievements include multiple Olympic medals, establishing her as a trailblazer in skiing. Her return after retirement speaks to her enduring passion and competitive drive. The ACL injury, a common yet debilitating issue in sports, tests an athlete's mental fortitude as much as physical.